Welcome back, true believers and all you merry Marvelites, to another very interesting and kinda important discussion-related video regarding Marvel's Avengers. So recently, there's been a few bits of news here and there from multiple websites, one of which is going to be a video I will do in the future, where they kind of hinted at possible heroes which will be added in the future after the Core 6 with Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and Kamala Khan. There was an interview with Rich Briggs, who's the brand director of Crystal Dynamics, kind of diving into who else we could expect in the game, so I will do a video about that later on. And there is also the recent news with kind of more an in-depth look and kind of analysis from IGN discussing how the gear is going to operate within the game. And also recently, like literally today, on the Marvel's Avengers Twitter page, they did say officially that they will be attending Paris Games Week with a playable demo, A-Day, for people to actually try out for themselves, as well as another convention which is going to take place in Italy, I believe. Whether or not that means that we could see a trailer of the game that's new, different from A-Day at Paris Games Week, again, similar to what we saw with Spider-Man PS4 back in 2017, where we got a story trailer for the game showcasing Peter Parker and Mary Jane for the first time, along with Ant-Man and other cool story beats of the game. We could get a trailer for Marvel's Avengers at Paris Games Week, along with the A-Day demo playable there during October 30th through November 3rd. And that is really great to see that the demo is continuously being shown off at different areas for people to try it out. However, it would be great if there was something else besides the demo. My voice just cracked because of how frustrated I am with the situation. Is that every single time that there's something new, an event or a certain convention that's going on for the Avengers to show up, it's always the same thing. It's always the same A-Day demo over and over again. Now, granted, it is continuously being polished, and the people who got to play the demo for themselves at these conventions have said that it does feel fun and that it has been polished from what they did see previously at the other conventions, and that they do have some slight gripes with how the combat is working out in certain gameplay segments, like Iron Man's sequence flying on the Golden Gate Bridge, and a little bit of the combat feels a bit janky, but they still say that it has been more polished compared to what we have seen previously. So that's good, considering that the gameplay is still, I'm assuming, in the pre-alpha stages of development. Like, all the footage that we have seen so far is still technically pre-alpha, so I'm sure that once the full game is out, that the beta/final version of the game will at least look a bit better compared to what we are seeing now. And of course, the beta of the online variety is going to be available for the PS4 owners earlier than anyone else, which is when players can actually get their hands on the game and try it for themselves, play it online with their friends, see if they do actually want to fully buy it, and then solidify their purchase before the official release date on May 15th, 2020, if that happens. And what, of course, I mean is the main topic of this video is whether or not Marvel's Avengers is potentially going to be delayed. Now, why is this a question that even is being brought up? What signs are there that are indicating that it could be delayed? Well, so far, like I just mentioned, nothing really, because the demo is being polished as we speak continuously. It's being showcased at these events, and everyone is trying to be able to get their hands on it and get impressions of the game for themselves. Again, it is a bit concerning and a bit confusing that they aren't showing anything else of the game yet, because we do know that we will get a deep dive as to how co-op works early within 2020. We are going to see more of the customization and gear pieces in the next few months. Whether or not that means the next few months of 2019 or the beginning of 2020, we don't know, but there is going to be more new stuff showcased soon for the game as we get closer to the date, which is fine because there's still less than 7 months away until the game is out. But I personally still find it a bit agitating that the only thing for 4 months straight that they've decided to show for us, besides the new Kamala Khan trailer, which again is information we were already aware of, is the A-Day demo. We knew since the very first trailer that Kamala was going to be voicing that background character. The leaks indicated it. There were all these plot points with the Terrigen Mist that also implied that she was going to be in the story one way or another. So it wasn't really a new thing when we saw her actually be showcased in that trailer, when it also just showed more of A-Day and a little bit more of the story relating to AIM. Otherwise, we've only seen the A-Day gameplay and nothing else. and yet the game comes out in less than 7 months. Now, is that enough time to make the game finalized and fully polish it for everyone to get their hands on? Yes, but you have to understand how big this game is. Content for years to come with a fully fleshed out single-player campaign and online co-op missions that you can play with your friends with war zones, which you can also play offline, but they highly recommend that you play them in a 4-player co-op setting. All these open hub worlds to explore, not fully open world, but still mini manageable, explorable hub worlds to dive into and discover what's what. So San Francisco, New York, most likely other places like Wakanda, and maybe some other cooler places outside of Earth like Asgard, we don't know, but there is a lot going on within this game. Other heroes to play as, with new hero missions and Warzone missions being added at a regular basis, with continuous updates for years to come to engage players to keep coming back to play this game. It's a very big game, and this hasn't really been done before for the Avengers or any other type of superhero game that I've seen personally. We have had Ultimate Alliance 3 and the other Ultimate Alliance games and other titles like X-Men Legends and Destiny and Anthem and similar games that are being compared for Avengers, but for Marvel and for superheroes on this big of a scale, it's never really been done before in a fully AAA manner. Ultimate Alliance is like that, but it's smaller, it's more kind of, easier to get a hand of and get a hold of, and also just understand the mechanics. Over the top, kind of strategy-based, team-up game to play with your friends. Easy. But also with LEGO Marvel, which people keep comparing to, well wait, there's also a huge roster of characters with tons of areas and hub worlds to explore, so it's just a AAA LEGO Marvel game. And I hope that's not the case, because we also have customization, skill up, gearing and level up, grinding for gear, microtransactions with certain suits. So again, a lot of factors are being put into this game. Now, from the development side itself, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but again, it's already a red flag for me personally when both Square Enix themselves and the creative director, Sean Sky, confirmed that we were going to get information about the game in 2018, and it never came. So that already kind of gives me a bit of a hesitance towards the game, like, wait, is it actually being fully developed in the best way possible, or are they running into a bit of development issues? Because again, like what they've said, they looked worldwide and, throughout all other types of game developers for certain people to work on the game. Vince Napoli, lead combat designer, Sean Sky, creative director, Crystal Dynamics, Nixie Software. They had to make another studio, Crystal Northwest, to expand development. So there's a lot going on and a lot of development points that may indicate a possible delay. And also because of Square Enix's track record in general. If you don't know, Square Enix is famous, maybe infamous, for how they handle marketing for their games and also publishing them once they're released. Huge example, Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 was officially said to come out sometime in 2018 with an amazing trailer that debuted, back last year, and everyone got excited for it, and then surprise, it got delayed for, I believe, January of 2019. So it wasn't a major delay, but still a delay nonetheless, like only a month or two from actually releasing, but still people were a bit agitated that it got delayed, and the fact that they announced a release date that they felt confident in, and then they just went back on their promise and then released it a month or two later. Same thing with Final Fantasy VII Remake. There wasn't a release date shown off for that game, but the wait for it has been crazy, where they announced the Final Fantasy VII Remake in E3 2015, and now it's releasing March 2020. So 5 years later, I believe. Like, oh my god, that's a long time. It's crazy. And if anything, I don't blame it on the main developers in part with those games, but mainly Square Enix themselves, because they're always trying to meddle with certain aspects of development. And the same thing could be happening here with Marvel's Avengers. Now, we do have an official date. The other times, I believe they were just month dates, like December 2018 or January 2019. But now it's an official date ever since E3, an official, confirmed, specific date of May 15th, 2020. Now, could this affect the game in certain reasons? Because they have to make sure that they have the beta available for people to try out a month or two before the game actually releases. And then they have to plan out their content plan for months on end for years to come. Like, okay, we're going to release Black Panther in, like, let's say, May, June, July, August. So maybe 3 months after the main game releases, few months go by, boom, we'll release Black Panther. Another few months, boom, Doctor Strange. Or maybe they'll be more frequent. So May is the full game with the main 6. Then June is Black Panther. Then July is Doctor Strange. then August is Spider-Man, then September is Squirrel Girl. You know, all these possibilities of heroes that they're going to be adding down the line have to be included with their own respective combat sequences, character profiles, alternate costumes, combat abilities, special attacks, story inclusions, narrative-wise, to why are they in this game. And there's a lot going in with this title that makes me a bit concerned, is that can they actually fully finalize the pre-alpha stages of development right now, as well as plan out for the other amounts of content for years on in 7 months, or less than 7 months, because it's already October 23rd at the time of this recording. And I'm hoping for the best, because of all the teams that are working on this. We have 6 development teams working on this game. Same amount that are in the main team of the Avengers is 6 development teams. Marvel Games, Crystal Dynamics, Crystal Northwest, Eidos Montreal, Square Enix, and Nixie Software. And it's crazy. Like, with this amount of people working on this title, surely they should be able to actually be confident in the date that they provided and release the final product fully polished for everyone to play on the exact date of May 15th, 2020. Now again, there's no signal that's really indicating that there could be a delay, but based on people's feedback that they've played the A-Day demo themselves, and the fact that they're only showing the A-Day demo and little to nothing else, and that we're only going to get a full showcase of new stuff next year, which is when the game actually releases, is a bit concerning for me personally. And that's because the marketing hasn't been doing a really great job promoting this game to people who are still a bit concerned as to what it is, and a bit confused as to what actually is going to be fully entailed within the game after A-Day, after that whole tutorial sequence, with the hub worlds, with the Warzone missions, with the war table, with the gear, with the customization, with the story. What's happening? Will it all work out? We don't know, and that's what they really need to market and promote for their game within the 7-month time span, and technically, really, when 2020 comes around, a 5-month time span. Will they be able to fully promote the game and analyze how co-op works, team-up moves, gear customization, skill points, all this stuff, their upgrade tree, new characters to unlock with your roster of heroes, in that short of a time? Because if you think about it, 5 months to 7 months of fully promoting the game isn't that much. It sounds like a long time, but for a game this big and in the terms we had to wait for other games, and mainly for Marvel with Spider-Man PS4, where they had 2+ years, and Avengers, they also really had 3+ years when they announced it in 2017, but they never talked about it really until this year, in 2019, with E3, because we got the trailer in 2017, we were promised info in 2018, didn't happen, but then we got the A-Day reveal trailer in 2019, which they tried to act as like this is the first time it's being revealed worldwide, which it was for the gameplay footage, but really they had it years on, all the way back in 2017, when they announced that the game exists. So, with this kind of small time gap we have, 7 to 5 months remaining until they can fully promote all aspects of it, I'm thinking that the possibility is, I would say, 60 to 70% chance that it could get delayed. Now, if it doesn't, that's perfect. Now, that's why my percentage is so low. I don't think absolutely it's going to get delayed. It needs a lot more time to be worked on, because I think with all the teams and talent they have working on this project, they can manage with the amount of time they have to fully finalize a finished product. It just makes sense, and they seem very passionate and very, evocative of trying to make the best game possible. Like, they seem very adamant to deliver the definitive Avengers gaming experience, like they've said numerous times. And if it works out, again, I'd be ecstatic. Like, if it is the best game that it could possibly be on launch on May 15th, 2020, excellent. But with Square Enix's track record and what they've done so far with this game, with showing very minimalistic amounts of footage and not really even diving into info with interviews about the game, and say, well, we'll talk about it later on, I don't know. I'm a bit hesitant, and I'm a bit, like, held off as to how it could finalize its full product come launch. But with that said, everyone, that is my thoughts on the possible delay. Again, I'm thinking like a 60 to 70% chance of a delay, again, based on Square Enix's track record and what we've seen and know about so far about the game, the status of the A-Day demo, the fact that people still think it should be polished in specific areas, and the fact that we don't know too much about the game other than A-Day as of right now, and Kamala Khan being involved as the main protagonist of the story, and AIM being the main antagonist so far of the narrative. So, there's a lot that we still don't know, but there is a lot that we do know. but I'm just hoping that what comes next is very exciting to see, and that it does give me a lot of confidence personally that, oh, the launch is going to be fine, it's going to work out when everyone's able to get the beta and these codes in the future with new content coming out, with new heroes and regions being added at a regular basis for free. So they have a lot of content and stuff to plan out for the next coming years, and I just hope it works out for the absolute best. But until next time, everyone, let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Based on Square Enix's track record with other games, do you think that there is a possibility that the Avengers project could be delayed maybe like a couple months after May, like June or July of 2020, or maybe even farther in the end of 2020, or maybe even earlier? Who knows? I still think it could possibly be delayed, but I am confident right now, hoping for the best, that it will release exactly on May 15th, 2020, as what they're hoping it will be. So, with all that said, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Again, let me know your thoughts, and until next time, stay spectacular, everyone, stay merry, Marvelites, and peace out.